I'm Dave Abrams.
And I'm Kristin and Welcome to Arundel County Week in Review. In this episode, we'll meet the future farmers of America and we'll talk to representatives from the county's Office of Information Technology. But first, making headlines this week. We flipped the switch this week on a new 911 system that will make it easier for public safety personnel to do their jobs and speed response to emergencies. The new $2.2 million system features access to 16 million historical records, such as building plans, to help police and firefighters navigate an emergency scene, as well as real-time tracking to locate personnel after they leave their vehicles. The old system was installed in the early 1990s, back when Dave had MySpace.
Did not.
Liar.
Okay, I did.
So obviously technology has changed a lot since then. County Executive Steve Shue said this investment in the computer-aided dispatch, or CAD system, will improve response times and the safety of our first responders. Can't wait to hear more about this later on. Dave, did you really have MySpace in the 90s?
I think so, no?
I don't think so.
You think that's too...
I think Friendster came out before MySpace.
It did, but I think
that
both...
was 2000s.
Was it?
I don't know.
I should check my facts.
You should check.
Are you saying that I didn't check my facts?
I don't know. I'm just thinking MySpace might be a little pushing it.
Look at the knowledge from Kristin.
I could be completely wrong.
The history of the internet from Kristin Lagana.
Social media.
Wow.
Woo.
Well, we'll look at that for next week's show. A major initiative is underway to help homeless people in the county find safe places to live, treatment, and resources. Thanks to a $2.4 million grant from HUD, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, the county will add 175 units of housing this year. County Executive Steve Shue said the county has already doubled the stock of affordable housing in the last 4 years. A recent count listed 88 people living in the county with no shelter, and a lot of other people are transitional.
To address the problems of homelessness in Anne Arundel County, agencies and our partners are working to establish permanent, supportive, and stable housing for the county's chronically homeless individuals and families. By coordinating with the Coalition to End Homelessness, our administration is focused on teamwork and the weaving together of many different resources. We've increased the number of homeless individuals housed each year from 161 individuals in 2015 to 346, so more than double in the last year. Our goal is to help each of these individuals become self-sufficient, and that's really important. The goal is to lend a helping hand, not to enable a permanently dysfunctional way of life. We're definitely making progress. And to continue that progress, I'm very pleased to announce that Anne Arundel County has been awarded $2.4 million in federal continuum of care funding from Housing and Urban Development.
If you want to help out with this issue, go online and check out Arundel House of Hope, as well as the Winter Relief Program run by more than 60 churches and faith organizations in Anne Arundel County.
And
they do a great job.
Isn't our Homeless Resource Day coming up? It's usually in March.
It is. Actually, they did have it already.
They have it already?
Yeah, they had it already. We didn't publicize it that much this year for a reason, because what was happening is folks were coming just to get the free stuff, and we weren't hitting the people that really needed it the most.
Oh, that's a shame.
And we already have a network where we can communicate with those folks. So the 88 people, I've talked to Justin Beeler about this a lot before. He coordinates the program, and what he was saying is we really did a good job of moving people who were able into the right programs and services, and these 88 people who are left are like the really hardcore, like they don't want anybody to help them, so to speak, and they don't want to stop living on the street. So they're harder to reach and they're harder to convince, so it takes more work. So they really want to focus on those people who are still, when they say, no shelter, that means not just that you're living in a hotel or you're living with family or a friend or something like that. Like literally you don't have a roof over your head. So that's about 88 people. So we gotta focus on that and try and take care of those folks.
Yes, we do. Well, do you have what it takes to become an Anne Arundel County police officer? The department is hiring new officers again starting this week. The application period will be open for most of the month of February. For more information, go to aacounty.org/police. Take a look at this promo.
Being a woman in a male-dominated profession, especially one as physically demanding as this, it can be hard. Somebody told me many years ago, you either have to be a diplomat or a grizzly bear, and I'm no grizzly bear. You come across female victims that have been victimized by a man and don't want to talk to a man, or children who are more comfortable running to a woman on the scene of a traffic accident instead of a man. So there is a very, very specific demand for females. My name is Sergeant Jacqueline Davis with the Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Love our ladies and gentlemen in blue. If you want to speak to a recruiter, call 410-222-8677.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we are going to talk to the experts about our new 911 system, Rick Napolitano and Emily Meadows. Take a look at our community calendar for events happening around town, and we'll be right back.
What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
Well, welcome back. Joining us in the studio this week, we're delighted to have with Mr. Rick Napolitano and Ms. Emily Meadows from the county's OIT program. Rick is, of course, Chief Digital Officer, and Emily is the Public Safety Portfolio Manager. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Very good.
So we have a new system in place now called CAD. What's CAD stand for?
Computer aided dispatch.
Tell us some features about this new system.
So the new system, it's completely mapping based. Basically what that means is our call takers and dispatchers are able to pinpoint the exact location of a call.
Nice.
So that means we can get our first responders there more accurately, faster. We also have a web-based solution which allows our first responders access to the system from any location. Part of the mapping piece is an AVL solution. It's automated vehicle locator. And that really allows us to get first responders there faster because we know the location of the units they're riding on for our fire and our EMS units.
Wow.
Which is a really great feature.
Definitely an upgrade.
Absolutely.
To say the least.
Absolutely.
Now you're,
And real quick, I'm sorry, Kristin, what was it before that, like some of those things you mentioned, like how did it work before?
It wasn't mapping based.
Okay.
So we had streets in there, we knew street ranges, but now we're getting mapping data from the county geospatial group. So we know the roads in the county, their real addresses.
So it's like ADC maps versus Google Maps.
Essentially, but the county
Yeah.
has a group that maintains that information for the county.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
awesome.
They are great.
Yeah, they're great.
so years ago, the county abandoned a $7 million CAD system. Tell us about how this one is cheaper but better.
Yeah, so that system that you're referring to, it was part of a large public safety initiative. CAD was one component of that, and the CAD application during that program, it just did not meet the needs of the county or the public safety individuals. This new solution, it's an upgrade. So all of our tailored functionality that we had in our pre-existing system came forward with our new system. We also had easier data migration, which helped with saving money as well as easier training because it was just an upgrade.
Yeah, saved $5 million and got more capabilities.
Yes.
We like that.
We like that.
Absolutely.
We like that.
That's good. So Rick, tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that we were trying to solve along the way. I know part of it was that the software we were using was so old that was it DOS-based or COBOL, or what do you call the language?
There actually were DOS-based components of it, green screens, little green screens. Before I do, I want to take a minute and just let you know that Emily is very modest, so she could never say this herself, but a major reason for our success was because Emily.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Not surprised, not
I'm telling you,
surprised.
we had some real strong team members across.
Absolutely.
Frank Toohey was a big pull, and then we had Brian from the fire side. Every successful project takes a team, takes good people. So we want to acknowledge all of those people, both in the police side and the fire side and in the IT side. And within those people, there are team leads, and Emily did an excellent job building the culture and sticking to the task. It was not an easy program. We started out, we had a date. We actually are a little bit longer than we had planned originally to field. But the reason was we changed some scope as we were going. And so we knew that we had written some things down and said, this is the way we want it. When we got there, we said, well, maybe not exactly like that. And so we changed. That caused some slips in time. It didn't cost us any extra money because we had a kind of a fixed price agreement with the vendor. So anyway, I want to make sure that it's new.
But we
That's
used
so
to have
sweet.
we used to have this computer terminal in the server room, right? And the legend was that if that computer goes down, we don't have CAD anymore. Oh my God! I don't know how true that was, but that was. And I've seen this computer. It had.
I'm imagining some like Atari
It looked
80s
like
base.
It looked like that. It
Yeah.
had like the green screen.
Like a joystick
with
is
the,
used to operate it.
Yeah.
Am I that far off?
Actually, you're not that far off.
Okay.
And while we're commending people, we need to commend our 911 call takers and dispatchers.
Yeah.
Because they have been working with that for a long time. And when you watch them work, they're amazing people. They had all the shortcuts down. They'd worked around all the problems. And so for them, this technology switch was a huge change. And so when you can imagine an emergency call comes in, and there's pressure. I mean, somebody needs medicine, somebody needs a heart attack, you got to get people out there. You're trying to coordinate different people, and they went through this transition and the learning curve to the new system. Just their attitudes were great, their willingness to participate was great. Of course, our intent was to get them new tools that were helpful. And so just we want to make sure and acknowledge the call operators and the dispatchers. They did a tremendous job. And
Well,
we
even
wanna
with
make sure.
learning it, I'm guessing now the end result has been they're just so pleased to have this
They
in
are.
place now. It's
They are. We've
more
gone-
efficient.
You don't have F8 anymore. F8's like completely gone now, right?
Right. We have gone around. We do follow-up checks with them just to make sure there is still the learning curve, but in all they're pleased. And so we just, it's still on the learning curve, but they are very pleased with the tools.
You guys should be really proud. I mean,
Yeah, we are.
seriously,
We are.
you can't underestimate what you guys did.
Right.
It was a big deal.
Your question, that system was put in there 2 decades ago. And so yes, it's had minor upgrades along the way. So it was a huge change. We were a little worried, as you mentioned, for the last failure. So we're quite pleased right now. And this is the first of 3 or 4 other major system rollouts they're going to have. So we're kind of glad it went well.
Yeah, and that was the last system we're talking about 6-7 years ago. So it was a long time ago. Yeah. Rick, tell us a little bit. One of the things that fascinates me about my job, actually about your job, a lot of things fascinate me about my job, but about your job is 2 things. One is how you guys get different systems to talk to each other, some of which are from the ice ages, and the new ones are app-based, and they do all these things, and I don't know how the heck. Something called APIs, apparently I've learned a little bit, helps them
very
talk
good.
to each other. But when you're getting ready to buy a big system like this, and you're a government agency, it must be so hard to get it right, because I've been around county government long enough that I've seen these things are big, they're expensive, the company promises everything in the world, you pay this big price, and then a year later, the technology's gone, the company's gone, you got to pay somebody to reprogram for what you need. It's a hard decision to make. So how do you know you're picking the right thing?
That is an excellent question. And I'm not sure we have a good answer to it. We do.
You
put a
ask
lot-
Siri.
That's right. We do put a lot of energy into it. First of all, we start with a gap analysis, and the gap analysis helps us define really what it is that we want to perform. I will say, and this is a difficulty that's new to me, buying stuff through the county is a difficult process. You're stuck to an RFP process, so the new commercial ways to buy are much more inventive and innovative and give you more flexibility. So your point is, it is a challenge.
What's GAP? What does GAP mean?
Gap analysis generally says, here's what the thing does today, here's what I want to do tomorrow, where are the gaps and what do we need to fill in the middle? So then we'll work through that process, and once we get that process, we will bring in vendors. Hopefully we select the good vendors. Almost everything has to be relationally based nowadays. Things change so frequently. So there's no easy answer. We are cautious. We like to move quickly and have effect. There are some benefit now because technology has leapfrogged so much that some of the challenges, the vendors recognize all of these challenges, and so they're more flexible. The API that you mentioned is just an application interface that allows you to say, if I've got system 1 and I have system 2, let's automate how they talk to each other, so there's some standards that make that happen. We have a good team internally with our software development team with Jack Martin. They really, last year you and I talked, they released a new award-winning website, and they have built a lot of
Fantastic website.
Really,
we have
well
the
done.
best website.
It's
No
got-
question. No, we do. We do, Kristin. It's not funny. We do.
Sorry,
It's the best.
I'm just saying it's a little easy to toot your own horn.
Yeah,
Dave,
right,
When
I know.
you
Well, I didn't. You know,
Well, that's
like
what we're
Rick said, it's a
saying.
team. Yeah, it was a team. You know, I didn't do any APIs. Okay, I'll tell you that.
okay.
I did. You know, is that color? We did a different color. You know, it's like that.
Right.
Anyway, we do have a very strong development team, and what we like to do is kind of focus on a best-of-breed model, which means we go buy the best tool, all the areas, and then we link them together the best we can with interfaces. And so it's a challenge. We've got a very strong team. County exec's been very good about changing the bonds from 20 to 30 years, so he's gotten us some money up front, which has been extremely helpful. We wouldn't be in this place if he hadn't made that available for us.
And most importantly, all the citizens and the police officers and the firefighters and paramedics, all they care about is that it's safer. And it is absolutely safer because when they're responding to a call, you need to know where they are in that building.
Right.
And we didn't know that before. I mean, once they went into that building, we don't know where they are,
Right.
aside from like old tactics to, you know, everybody's holding a rope.
Right.
So you know where everybody is. But it's going to keep people safer. So.
I think it's a good time that both Chief Altamari and Chief Graves have been wonderful to work with. They are very dear to their teams, and they want to get them the best tools. And one of the things that's worked out very well in this administration, I don't have a history, so I don't know how it was in the past, but there is excellent collaboration between the teams. And you can't work well and you can't be successful if you don't have that. And I think we have
Absolutely.
it in spades, and I want to salute them for the job they've done.
Shout out to the Chiefs.
Yep.
Well, we really appreciate all the hard work that you and your team has done for the county. Thank you for keeping us up to date,
course.
running efficient, keeping us safe. And make sure you come back on Week Review. Give us any updates whenever you have the chance. So.
As long as they're successful, we're happy to come back.
Yeah. Well, we'll be right back with more Week in Review right after this. Don't go anywhere.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. Talk with your doctor to create a treatment plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Welcome back. You might not know that this week is Future Farmers of America Week, and that's why you watch this show to find out such interesting tidbits. Our own Lisa Barge is at Southern High School in Harwood with more. Lisa?
Thanks, guys. Today we're here at Southern High School. We're going to talk about the Curriculum for Agricultural Science and Education program, known as CASE, which is a program of the National Council for Ag Education. Before we get started, I want to thank Ms. Marchuk for having us into her classroom today and introduce Ms. Fairhard, the principal here at Southern High School. Would you like to say a few words about the Ag program?
Thank you. So the agriculture program here at Southern High School is a rigorous completer program and program of study. It's very unique to Southern High School because no other comprehensive high schools in Anne Arundel County also have the program. So we really are the only larger high school that has this for our students. And really what I can say about the program and in my experience, students in this program really have exposure to 21st century careers on a daily basis, and the corresponding FFA also provides students with leadership skills that are necessary really for every high school student. So I guess if I had to summarize, I would really say that these students in both of these programs, both the CASE program and the FFA, are really preparing for life beyond high school and really honing their skills for college and career readiness.
Great, thank you. So we're really looking forward to learning a little bit more from the officers today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so today we are in the Ag classroom. We're going to learn a little bit more about the Curriculum for Ag Science Education program, and we're here with three of the officers for the program. We have our co-presidents, Ann Henry, Sophie Chance, and our Justin Tice, our junior advisor. So let's start out by talking a little bit about FFA. Can you tell me what FFA is about?
So FFA is a national organization that we also have a chapter of at Southern High School. It stands for Future Farmers of America, but what we actually are just the national organization of FFA. And we are a leadership organization for any kids that want to be involved with agriculture in their future career or throughout high school, and really just get them involved in the program.
Oh, very good. And does FFA stand for anything?
Yes, FFA stands for Future Farmers of America.
Okay.
But we want to make it known that it's not just for farmers.
Right.
It's very agricultural in any aspect.
Okay. So the CASE program is a 4-year completer program here at Southern High School. It's a structured sequence of courses that are very rigorous to help challenge you and relevant to help engage active participation. Can you tell me a little bit more about the completer program and some of the classes that make that program up?
So the completed program, we offer 5 classes. To complete the program, you only need 4 out of those 5 classes. We offer our intro class, which you would take as a freshman. So your sophomore year, you would choose between plant science or animal science, or you can dual up and take both. Your junior year, you would be in the animal and plant biotechnology class, which is almost the same as an AP bio class. And senior year, you would take the research and development class, which I'm currently in. And they're all honors class, which a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah, I was going to say these are honors classes, so they are not easy classes. So very good. What about the 3 circles of ag education? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the 3 circles are the classroom part, the FFA part, and then the SAE. So in the classroom is where you get your agricultural knowledge, you learn about animal science, you learn about plant science, and you really get that whole agricultural background and what it's all about. FFA is more the leadership side, where you really learn those public speaking, meeting skills, networking, and you really learn about agriculture in your community. And then finally, the SAE is how you get involved with agriculture. It's called your supervised agricultural experience, and it's really whether you get involved with animals or just in the community. A lot of kids get internships and things like that.
And are all of you involved with SAEs?
Yes.
How about, you want to tell us what you're working on?
My SAEs is working on a meat farm, so basically every day I feed and water all the animals, and we also get them built up enough to send them to the processor, and they come back and we sell them as meat. And for the SAE, you would log your hours, type in all information like resource and contact info, and once you get it all typed up, you put it in a folder, and that's your SAE.
So it's kind of like an internship or a job that you would do related to your study area. Okay, very good. All right. So what about the classes that you're taking here? So if you're taking the ag program here at Southern High School and then you decide that you're not going to do ag when you get out of high school, can these classes be applied to other areas of your life, careers, jobs, things like that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's agriculture really can prepare you for anything, whether you want to go into law school, whether you want to go into medicine, whether you want to be an engineer. Like there's agriculture engineering, there's agriculture agricultural lawyers. Really any aspect of any career field, agriculture can feed into and really help you create a foundation for what you want to do.
Very good. So I think at the last count, I was looking at the different career paths that you can go from in agriculture education. There was 180 different career paths requiring all levels of degrees. So that's pretty exciting. Okay. Well, I hope you have enjoyed learning a little bit more about ag education program here at Southern High School. In closing, I'd just like to reiterate that CASE programs enhance student learning and to perform at very high levels. And we're very proud of the ag program here and the students that are taking this class. If you are interested in learning more about ag education, you can visit our website, www.aaedc.org. And back to the studio.
Thanks, Lisa, and go Bulldogs.
Go
I can't believe I
Bulldogs.
said that as a South River Seahawk, but go Bulldogs.
Do you guys bark for the Bulldogs?
No.
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 Oh, you went to South River.
went
You
to
didn't
South
go to
River.
Southern. Did you guys have a big rivalry?
No, that's a Raven. I don't know what a Seahawk.
Right, something like that.
Yeah.
Was
we
there a
did
big
have
rivalry?
Yeah,
So
Southern South River.
who kicked the other one's butt all the time?
I think in football at that time we were doing better. So,
Nice.
Yeah. As far as
You guys are
looks,
bigger. Ha,
Wow.
no contest
No
there.
contest there.
Woo.
Just kidding.
So, Kristin.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Week.
Happy Valentine's
As a
Week. Did you do
newlywed?
anything exciting?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Went out to dinner, did some of the usual things that you do on Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, but it was nice.
Yeah,
It was
nice.
very nice.
Very good.
How about you?
It was our first wedded Valentine's Day.
Right.
First as
So it's like
husband
totally
and
no
wife.
big deal.
Just
sit on the couch.
Yeah, I mean, everyone keeps
eat
asking me. They're
popcorn.
like, oh, what's it like now that you're married? It's the exact same before. I put them on my insurance. I think that's pretty much
That's so romantic.
Let's see what that gets you.
Woo! Insurance.
Insurance.
That's good
Insurance.
stuff. That's
Listen
good
up,
stuff.
kids.
Well, you're more insurable now.
I know, that's true. Well, I kept telling Will during the whole process, just because I'm silly and I'm hypocritical for saying this now, because as I told you, I had the post-wedding blues, but I was like, I don't understand all this fluff about, you know, the wedding. Like, marriage is about fees, forms, and documentation. And he kept quoting me on that. Fees, form, and documentation. Just because I got so, right?
Fees, forms,
the
and
documentation. Fees, forms.
Now we will get married.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got so excited over things like going to the courthouse and getting our license and, you know, putting him on the insurance. And I like more official.
All right, time out.
Ways
Time out.
to-
She didn't care about the forms, and she didn't care about going to the courthouse.
I certainly didn't care about the fees.
She liked singing her songs, and she liked the spotlight being on her.
Okay, so yes,
and she
once
liked,
it happened.
she liked having a big party for her.
Yep, once it happened, I got so suckered into it. By the way, submitted the photos to Baltimore Bride, so we'll see what happens.
All right, listen, people, this is real important. Baltimore Bride magazine.
We know you're watching.
We're looking at you. And all of our viewers, you need to let them know at Baltimore Bride magazine,
yes.
BBM.
BBM, not BlackBerry Messenger.
Lagana McCrory wedding,
That's
number
right.
1 in the state of Maryland, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Number
Thanks
1.
for the shout out. But anyway.
No, I was there. It was very cool.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
I loved it.
So it was pretty exciting.
I'm glad you made it through your first Valentine's Day.
I know.
And you're still married.
And it was pretty
That's
exciting
good.
going into the store. I found a card that had the biggest husband written across it, because I was like, oh, I get to buy one of these now. They were talking on the radio too, actually, about it. Does it really make a difference once you're married about Valentine's Day? What are your thoughts?
Well, that's a good point.
Like, do
now you
people
have to
really-
buy the card that says husband, so you go to a different
But
section.
Valentine's Day has always been one of those try to impress holidays. So once you secure the deal, do you really need to do all that anymore? So that's why they're saying, is it such a big deal now that you're married?
This might be a bad time for me to mention that I can't stand
Valentine's Day.
I can't stand
You
it.
should just love every day. Why do we need a day for it?
That's
Hallmark.
right. That's
Throw
right,
flowers,
Hallmark.
Cherry berries.
I heard a funny little bit on the radio about how they were going to have a taste test, and they were going to look at the cards from the dollar store and the cards from Hallmark to see if there was really any difference, and they agreed that you would be able to tell by the thickness of
the paper. Yeah, you could tell how nice
But
the
you can
paper
go to the
is.
dollar store, you can get a card for under $1.
Yeah.
And you go to Hallmark, and sometimes these cards are like $7, $8
The husband
now.
one was $8, Dave.
Because it said husband really big.
And it was all this, like,
you gotta
craft
pay for that.
paper. I did it. I mean, it's the first one. But yes, we had a lovely
The
one.
things you will do for your husband, it's
I
amazing.
know.
Oh
That
my
sounds
gosh.
weird. I unlocked the car
That does
that
sound kinda
morning.
weird.
There were red roses in the car.
Yeah, that's the other thing, man. Will is always making the rest of us look bad.
That's not true.
We don't like that, Will.
That's not, gosh,
Just get
Will,
the chocolates and the flowers and be done with
jeez,
it.
Whatever's left at the grocery
He
store.
had to lock it in the car. In the
walk
middle,
right
what, you go
in.
in the middle of the night and put it in the car?
Limp carnations. Yeah, I don't know when he did it, but
You don't know when he did
yeah,
it? Did he like get up earlier and you're like, what is he doing?
I think
He's
it was
being
that,
creepy.
because
and
he was
went
up before
outside.
me. So.
And it was cold and the door's frozen. There's probably all kinds of good stories about that,
Yeah.
what actually went down.
I'll have to
Your
ask.
pad might have been slippery.
Yeah, maybe.
Good for Will.
I know, good for him.
So he did all this and you got him a card that says husband in big letters? Is
yeah,
that basically what
dessert.
happened?
Yeah.
What'd you make?
I make these like red velvet brownies that he likes, so yeah. But whether or not you're a Valentine's Day fan, I'm not really all about it. Neither is this guy.
But
We
happy
do
Valentine's
say
to
happy
you
Valentine's
either
Day.
way, yes.
And we love you, our viewers.
We do.
We appreciate you.
We can make hearts. Look at that. That's real.
That's Week in Review Love.
Oh my God.
Hashtag blessed.
I'm starting to tear up. Well, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode and archived episodes online anytime on Facebook or YouTube by simply searching for Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around the county, and we'll see you next time.